We finished web hacking fundamentals. Today we are starting cryptography. And we have Hashing Crypto 101, which is a module inside Complete Beginner Path. Task number 1, key terms. Before we start, we need to get some jargon out of the way. Read these and take in as much as you can. We'll expand on some of them later in the room. Plain text, encoding, hash, brute force, and crypt analysis. Damn, boy. Plain text. Data before encryption or hashing. Often text, but not always, and it could be a photograph or other file instead. Encoding, this is not a form of encryption. Just a form of data representation like base64 or hexadecimal, immediately reversible. So this is really important. Encoding, it is just a form of data representation. In other words, if we have letter T, encoding letter T that we can see is just, for instance, hexadecimal can be represented in other way for letter T. It's the same thing, but it's represented in another way. Hexadecimal for letter T. This is the hexadecimal for letter T. This is the binary for letter T. These are two examples of encoding. Hash. A hash is the output of a hash function. Hashing can also be used as a verb, to hash, meaning to produce the hash value of some data. To hash a data, for instance, the letter T, we use a hashing function. This hash will be a fixed length string. It cannot be decrypted, for instance. It's a fixed length string that will be always the same for that specific data that was hashed. Brute forcing, it's attacking cryptography by trying every different password or every different key. Crypt analysis, attacking cryptography by finding a weakness in the underlying maths. This room will likely involve some research. Get good at using search engines. It's crucial for InfoSec. Answer the questions below. Read the words and understand the meaning. Is base64 encryption or encoding? Right? It is encoding. We just have, for the same data, we just represent it in another way. We don't encrypt it. For instance, let's say encrypt, decrypt, and go here, for instance. This, for instance, is AES encryption, AES decryption. For letter T, enter the secret key 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we just copy this again. 16 length. There you go. This is the encrypted in AES. For instance, if we copy this and we say here, decrypt AES, and we jump into another site, for instance here, and we offer this encryption and the secret key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we paste it again and we remove these. It's yes, correct, everything is correct, decrypt. As you can see, it's letter T. So this is an example of what is encryption, right? It's a different thing than hashing. For instance, Here we see some algorithms for, here we can see some algorithms, right? For hashing algorithms. Let's enter here letter T, calculate the hash. So for each function, hashing function, you can see its actual hash. For each hashing function, you can see the related hash for the letter T. These cannot be decrypted. This is a fixed length string.